Bills fans, it's a new week. We're gearing up for our epic Sunday night football showdown against the Ravens. And believe me, the news is already heating up. We have some bombshell news that could completely change the dynamics of our offense and make this team even more dangerous than we thought. So grab your wings, get comfortable, and let's dive in. You know how it goes. It's cut-down day. Roster decisions are being made. The front office, Brandon Beane, and company are working the phones. And while they've done an incredible job getting our roster to 53 players, they're always looking for the next opportunity to make us better. And Bills Mafia, an opportunity has presented itself, and it's a huge one. According to a report from the game's top insiders, Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, Jakobi Meyers of the Las Vegas Raiders has officially requested a trade. You heard right. A 1,000-yard receiver from last season wants out of Las Vegas. And guess what? The Bills could be the perfect fit for him. Now, I know what you're thinking. Trade for who? What do we have to give up? This is where it gets really interesting. The rumor is that a potential deal could involve two players we already have on the roster: wide receiver Curtis Samuel and defensive tackle Dwayne Carter. Let's break that down because it makes a lot of sense for both sides. First, let's talk about Curtis Samuel. The Bills brought him in on a multi-year contract, and he has a significant impact on the salary cap. We're talking about $9 million this year. If the Bills can waive that salary, it would be a huge win for the team's financial health, giving them much more room to maneuver. And let's be honest, Samuel's production hasn't matched that price, and he's been having some injury issues. A fresh start in Las Vegas could be exactly what he needs to revive his career. For the Bills, it's a chance to save a lot of money and potentially improve at the same time. And then there's Dwayne Carter. He's a young defensive tackle in his second year, a third-round pick in the 2024 draft. He hasn't yet become the dominant force we hoped for. The idea was for him to be a bigger, faster version of our guy, Ed Oliver, but that hasn't panned out yet. Sending him to a new team would give him another chance to prove himself. And for us, the Bills just brought back a familiar face, fan favorite Jordan Phillips, to the practice squad. This move would allow them to elevate him to the active roster, giving us a proven veteran presence on the defensive line, a guy who knows our system inside and out. It's a 2-for-1 deal that makes our roster stronger on both sides of the floor. So, why Jakobi Meyers? What does he bring to Orchard Park? Well, let's take a look at his last season. While playing for a very strong Raiders team, a team that went 4-13, a team that struggled with its running attack and had a mix of Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew throwing the ball to him, Meyers still put up monstrous numbers. He racked up 87 receptions for over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's a huge feat for any receiver, especially one in his situation. Now, imagine this. Take those numbers and put them into a powerful, all-consuming offense led by the reigning MVP, our man, Josh Allen. Meyers is a skilled route runner, incredibly reliable with his hands, and can move all over the field. He's a versatile weapon. He can line up on the wing in the slot, and he even has a background playing quarterback in high school, which opens up some really fun gadget playmaking possibilities. He's not just a guy who can run a sequence. He's a true football player who understands the game, and the timing perfect. This potential acquisition would be the cherry on top of an already incredible offseason. We just signed our star running back, James Cook, to a massive 4-year, $48 million contract. We're keeping our Super Bowl window open for the next few years, adding a 1,000-yard receiver to that mix. That's not just a roster move, it's a statement. It tells the entire league that the Bills are on fire. Think about it from the Raiders' perspective. They let a player who wants a new contract go to a team with a real Super Bowl chance, and in return, get 2 culture-building pieces, a veteran receiver and a young defensive tackle to help with the rebuild. It's a win-win situation for both franchises. Bills Mafia. This is the kind of move that turns a great team into an elite one. This is the kind of move that brings a Super Bowl to Buffalo. Grab your wings, settle in, because this is the kind of news you need to hear straight from the source. Let's get right to it, folks. The big news. The one that has everyone in Orchard Park and beyond excited, and not in a good way. is that our highly anticipated first-round draft pick, quarterback Maxwell Harrison, will miss the first 4 games of the regular season. Yes, you heard right, 4 games. This isn't just a bump in the road, it's a significant hole we'll have to overcome. Harrison, our new Kentucky plaything, suffered a sprained right knee during an individual workout during the first week of training camp in July. Remember those early reports, the rumors that he was limping a bit? Well, those rumors turned into a roar. On Tuesday, the Bills officially confirmed what many of us feared. Harrison was placed on injured reserve with a designation to return. Now, for those who may not be fluent in NFL medical jargon, injured reserve with designation for return means he could return this season, but not before Week 4. So, if you're keeping track of your calendars, the earliest we can expect to see our rookie phenom on the field is October 5th, when we face our divisional rivals, the New England Patriots. It's a huge divisional matchup, and potentially having him back for that game would be a much-needed boost, but it's still a long way off. This is a tough blow, Bills Mafia, and there's no sugarcoating it. We drafted Harrison in the first round for a reason. We saw his potential, his athleticism, his game-changing ability in our secondary. The coaching staff, specifically Sean McDermott, was banking on him as a potential starting option alongside Christian Benford. Think about that for a second. A rookie entering the NFL as a starter. They had a lot of faith in him. In recent weeks, there was a glimmer of hope that the team would try to keep him on the final 53-man roster, perhaps as an inactive for a few games to facilitate his recovery. But his recovery progress, or lack thereof, led Coach McDermott to make a difficult decision. It's a pragmatic one, prioritizing the long-term health of our young star and the immediate needs of the team. McDermott himself admitted last week that they were still trying to figure out exactly what we're dealing with in terms of when we can start pushing him a little bit more without interrupting the recovery process. He added that he felt they were moving in the right direction, which is a small silver lining, I guess. But let's be realistic. Being in the right direction doesn't mean he's ready to face Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in Week 1. It means that opportunities for other players on the roster like Jamaris Ingram and fellow rookie Dorian Strong will have to be significantly improved. The secondary is a crucial part of our defense, and without Harrison, there's a significant void. And this is where things get even more interesting and perhaps a little concerning. The Bills are currently scrambling to finalize roster details ahead of our Sunday Night Football opener against the Baltimore Ravens. We need a viable option to line up alongside Christian Benford. Now, we've brought back a familiar face this offseason, veteran Trey Davius White. After spending 7 glorious years with us, he briefly toured with the Ravens and Rams last season and is now back home. White is expected to start against Baltimore if he's fit. And frankly, having a player of his caliber back on the field, especially with his deep knowledge of our system and his experience against the league's best offenses, would be a huge relief. However, and this is a big, but White himself suffered a minor leg injury during practice last week. Now, reports say it's minor, but any injury to a veteran quarterback, especially one with his recent history, raises some eyebrows. We've seen what happens when our secondary is depleted, and it's not a pretty sight. We need our players healthy, especially against an explosive offense like the Ravens. We'll need each of you, Bills Mafia, to make noise, bring passion, and let this team feel your unwavering support, especially in these first few weeks. They'll need it. Now, before I say goodbye, I want to hear from you. This is your chance to join the conversation. Given Maxwell Harrison's absence and the questions surrounding Trey Davius White's health, who do you think stands out most in our secondary during the first 4 games of the season, and why? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let the discussion begin. And as always,